Hey, what is up you guys? Zero here. Welcome back to yet another Lorcana video. Today, let's talk about an event. So World Class Cards had their 10K weekend event this last weekend. So Saturday and Sunday respectively were each 5K events. Each one had over 125 participants each. Not only that, there were some heavy hitters in attendance. We had Zan Syed, we had DKP, we had No I'm Not, we had a bunch of very decorated Lorcana players and a bunch of Golden Mickey winners. It was honestly a little insane. And I knew about this event for a couple weeks now, and I've been trying to figure out what deck to bring. I know I'm kind of known as the Blurple guy, and I've been playing Blurple for the last 2 sets, but you know, I'm trying to find the deck that will give me the best chance to win. If I had to default to Blurple, I would have, but you know, I had to test the waters a little bit. And I did try playing Red Blue, I did try playing Sapphire Steel, and you know, if nothing else, it was kind of to know my enemy because if I really did well with it, I think I would have definitely played it. I'm not like against playing meta decks, but if I didn't enjoy it, then at least I kind of would know how they played so that I can know how to play against them. And I think very quickly I came to realize, or in my opinion, that I think Discard worked very well into both of them. So I was already planning on playing Green Steel initially. I put a lot of games into Green Steel just thinking that that would be the deck that I was going to play, until the week before WCC, where a new deck started making its rounds. This green purple discard that at first started doing very well in Europe, and then I think at the the Charlie's Collectibles tournament, some players also did well in that. And when I looked at this deck, I was like, this is kind of what I've been looking for. It has discard, which I thought would be really good into the field. And it has purple, which I understand way more than steel because, you know, I'm a purple player. So I put my nose to the grindstone and I just really tried to figure this deck out, and it felt super good to me. And that's what I brought, and that's what I won with. Super hard to believe, but I made a top 4 with this deck, and we decided to split because, you know, it was a really long night and it was a Sunday because I missed Saturday, so I had work the next day, as I'm sure some other people did too. But still, like, unbelievable. I can't believe that we're here, and I don't quite think it's settled in just yet. I kind of just got home kind of thinking, you know, it's like any other tournament that I played in, but like, I mean, it's being mentioned a lot and I'm seeing myself, or my deck at least, in a lot of videos, and it's been super fun. But anyway, this video, I wanted to talk about the deck. I will just do a really brief deck profile for you guys, and then I wanted to go over my matches. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. If you guys want to try the deck out, for sure, I hope this video will help you, and if you have any questions, comment down below. Just quickly going over the deck, I don't think there's many differences from some of those out there, so I'll probably highlight those differences a little more. But yeah, let's just get at it. First, of course, we want a full set of the 1-drop Diablos, 4 green, 4 purple. I think this is the only reason to play the deck. I mean, it's a fun deck, but the fact that you have a more consistent Diablo shift on turn 2, like you can either shift on this one or that one, you have a full 8 possible cards to shift on, kind of makes it more consistent than like Green Steel at hitting that turn 2 Diablo. It's kind of like Sapphire Steel versus like Red Blue, right? Like you have another set of popsicles that you can pop for Bell and what have you. On top of that, we also do play 3 of the 2-drop Diablo. This is a new one that is Amethyst and Emerald. This can also be shifted on if it's kind of like a last resort. If necessary, you can shift it on turn 3 instead, but it's actually a super strong card. It is evasive, and with Challenger +2, you'd be surprised how useful this card is, because it normally like trades into 2 things, and it gets rid of 2 pretty like high value targets because it's evasive and things can't trade back into it usually. Our other 2-drop is Ursula. You have to run 4. I don't think there's any contention about that. If you're up against Sapphire Steel or Steel decks in general, you want to hit the songs before they take out your Diablo, and I think it just makes sense. Of course, we have 4 of the Diablos. I get to play with that nice enchanted that we pulled on camera, so super nice. This is the reason you play. I don't think I have to explain Diablo, it's just the reason you play this deck. We only play 2 Prince Johns for the discard package. You're playing Amethyst, so you have a lot more avenues to draw, so you don't need him as much as in green steals, but I think he's still great. At least while you're discarding, you get some cards. Like it's not the worst thing, not necessary, but great to have. The Amethyst package, we have 4 foxes and 3 crabs. Yeah, I mean, this is the reason I'm playing it over steel. I just have a pretty good understanding of how this package works, I think, and it just works better for me. So I have 3 crabs and 4 foxes. I have 3 genies. I think a lot of variants of this deck run 4, but I was struggling into red-blue a little bit, and he kind of just sits in your hand against red-blue, and I don't like that. So here's my spice for the night. I was running 2 of these queens. The reason I did it was I wanted to I wanted to bottom deck the items that red-blue plays and like Sapphire Steel. So that was kind of the hope, to get rid of them so that Tamator can't fish them, which was being really annoying. It just seemed nice. I will say during the tournament, she didn't really perform that well, just because, I don't know, I just didn't draw her in the right situations, and she was doing like bad trades and she never got to exert. It was just a whole thing, but I don't think it's bad. I think there's still hope maybe, but she's kind of on the cutting block right now. And of course we have 4 Elsas. This card's insane. This deck kind of plays like Blurple in that we are very limited in removal because we're not in red and we're not in steel. So we have Elsa for the same reason, where we can exert them and run into them, which is really nice. I run 2 Crickeys. This card is insane in this deck. It's like Crab, except it hits all of your cards. So there are moments when you've discarded their whole hand, you have stuff that you're not exerting because you don't want them to get taken out, and your opponent just has to quest because they can't play anything, and then you just drop this and just wipe their whole board. It's really nice. It's also your biggest lure. Like it's the most offensive threat you have to lure because it lures for 3. So once you've discarded their hand, it's a great thing to drop just to start getting lure. So really nice card. And 2 Lucifers. I think a lot of them were running 1, but I ran 2 because this is the finisher. This takes out the last 2 cards in your opponent's hand usually, and it came in so clutch against red-blue, against everything. Like I was just always just like, bam, you lose your entire hand. It's awesome. So onto actions. I have 2 improvises. The original deck list ran this. I think a lot of people are question marking it. They're like, no, they're not sure why we would run this card, which is just like chosen character gets +1, draw a card. You'd be surprised. If you're doubting it, I would say try it at least a little bit. Like that +1 clutches a lot of matches. Also, on one of my matches, I used this to take out a giant cobra because it has vanish. That was probably all I wanted to do all night, so I'm glad I managed to pull that off. 3 hypnotizes. We're a discard deck. This card is awesome because if Prince John is out, you draw 2 instead. But yeah, you can usually, if they're like on their last couple cards, you just like bam, bam, sudden chill, bam, discard, and then yeah, the game's probably yours at that point. Speaking of course, we have 4 sudden chills. Singable, discard a card. I'm not going to talk too much about that. What I'm going to talk more about though is the Has Set My Heart. I think every YouTuber covering my deck right now is question marking this card so hard, but it was absolutely the MVP. It was nuts. I think it was very important in every red-blue matchup that I won. It's insane because it's just, you can sing this on with your 2-cost character, your Ursula, your Diablo, whatever, and you just take out an item. I think this was the only way to deal with Sapphire Coil usually before it gets out of control and just wipes your whole board. I would also use it a lot to just pop like their only popsicle so that they can't play Hiram on turn 4, or they would just end up having Hirams and no items, and you can discard their hand from there. So yeah, I like it. I think it did really well, and I'd say give it a shot before you count it out. And onto the rest of the songs. For Friends, I got my 2 signed friends here. Just great. Like the fact that you can shift Diablo, sing this, Then Diablo's at least a net 0. That just makes it awesome. It makes me okay with sacrificing Diablos to get rid of some removal or whatever. Yeah, super good. You have a lot of singing potential too, so great. And last but not least, we don't talk about Bruno. I bought this enchanted after my win to kind of commemorate it, but this card's great. Like, Elsa can sing it, Lucifer can sing it, and it discards so you draw when Prince John's out. Yeah, amazing. But no, yeah, love this deck. I think it did great. Let's talk about matches. So for matches, there were 7 rounds total. We played 7 rounds before cutting to top 16. And then from there, top 8, then top 4, and if we had played it out, it would be the finals. And then, yeah. Round 1, I played against Blue Steel. It was my only Blue Steel opponent all night, which was kind of unfortunate because I think I practiced a lot into it. I think a majority of my practice was against Sapphire Steel. We were on the draw. Almost all night, actually. I was rolling really terribly. But we managed to 2-0 this opponent. The first game, we just had the nuts. I think we had exactly what we wanted. Turn 1 Diablo into the shift, and then my Ursula knocked out the only Storm Rage on in his hand. He never drew anything else that could take out Diablo, and I drew off every item he played, every Hiram he played, and then discarded his whole hand and just finished it from there. Game 2 was significantly harder. I think we did get the Diablo again, but it got stormed immediately. And then from there, it was kind of a fight for him trying to keep his hand and me trying to get rid of it. And eventually I got Has Set My Heart down. I took out the only popsicle left after. I think he got rid of 2. He belled 1, he Hiramed another, and then I got rid of 1. And then after that, I don't think he saw any more. And then I slowly discarded his hand until Lucifer finished it off. I think he had, when he got down to 2 cards in hand, I got Lucifer down, and from there we just took it. I don't think he came back after that. Game 2, I was up against Aggro Steel Song. It was against Kurt Spice, who was a Golden Mickey winner, so I knew I was in for it. I also knew this was kind of my worst matchup, so I was kind of hoping to dodge it the whole day, but this was my only loss for the day. I got 0-2'd on stream, of course. When I'm playing on stream, I of course lose. But yeah, our only loss, we were on the draw, and he just went too fast. He just went really wide. We didn't have really good starting hands, I think. I struggled to find answers. I think I missed a couple, like 1 or 2 Diablo draws, just because I usually don't play green, so of course I'm gonna make that mistake every once in a while. I don't think I made it much more during the night. I think I missed it off of a popsicle 1 more time, and then I don't think I missed any others, so maybe it was just stream jitters or something. But yeah, pretty bad matchup, really good player, like super good player, so I wasn't mad at the loss. Yeah, bad matchup and couldn't keep going. Game 3 was against my first red-blue opponent. I got 3 of them in a row, so the next 2 are also red-blue opponents. This one was on the draw. We managed to take it 2-1. We had a really close first game. We were just going back and forth. I almost get their hand discarded, then they'll like top deck or Hiram or something and come back a little bit. And we just kept going with this back and forth. And I think he just eventually managed to grind me down with removal and managed to take it before I could finish it off. Game 2 and 3 though were a little weird. I think it was just a little unfortunate that he didn't draw any items either game. He didn't see any popsicles or anything. But in my hand, I had all of the item removal, or I had game 2, I drew both Has Set My Hearts in my starting hand. And then I eventually drew the queen too, so I had it all like kind of ready, and he wasn't playing any, so I was like, am I really inking this? And I did end up inking it, but it was kind of weird to do so. In game 3, I saw both Has Set My Hearts again, so it was the same kind of situation where I'm like, is he really not going to draw an item? And he just ended up not doing it, so we just discard their hand and take it. Lucifer was really good. I think game 2 and 3, that was how I got rid of the last 2 items, or 2 cards in his hand. And yeah, that's kind of all she wrote. Round 4, red-blue again, 2-1 again, on the draw again. This was just a pretty standard game. Lucifer came in super clutch on the game 3. I just remember I Lucifered him, got rid of his entire hand, He got a Hiram, drew back some cards, and then he got a 6-drop Tamatoa to get back Coil and Popsicle. And then when he had 3 cards in hand, I threw down a Sudden Chill, and he threw out his Vision. And once I saw that and I knew the last 2 cards in hand, I bounced my Lucifer, played it again, and got both of them out, and then I just kind of grinded it out from there for the win. Round 5, on the play for once, my only on the play game until the top 16. Game 1, I just got a super nice curve with the Diablos. Has Set My Heart came in clutch. I just, on turn 2, he played his Coil. And then on my turn 3, I sang it with my 2-cost Diablo, Has Set My Heart with my 2-cost Diablo, and got rid of it. And he was kind of like, oh, I didn't realize it was a 2-cost song. And I was like, yeah, surprise, surprise. And from there, we just kind of denied his Hiram for the rest of the game. He ended up having to play it like naked on the board without any items, just so I wouldn't discard it. But then he didn't draw another one, so we kind of just took it from there. He got game 2 pretty convincingly. I just didn't get my discard engine down. Game 3 was kind of close. I didn't get any discard cards, so I just kind of had to aggro him down. I just like a lot of evasives. I just went really wide and really fast, and just hard denied his big Sisu. Like whenever he played little Sisu, I get rid of it somehow. I even Bruno'd it at one point just to make sure that big Sisu wouldn't hit the field, and we just managed to like eke it out that way. Like eventually he got some big drops in, but we just kept playing things to the board, and we managed to just quest for the win, which was a little lucky, but I mean a little unlucky that we didn't get discard cards, but that's how it goes sometimes. Round 6, we were on the draw again against Purple Steel. We managed to 2-1 that. My opponent was actually one of the other top 4 finishers, so you can probably find his deck there. But yeah, I think he was a little annoyed with me because I was discarding his hand. We won the first game by doing that, just getting rid of every card in his hand. We luckily sniped the Dock. I think that was the last card he was trying to keep, but we went like Hypnotize into Sun Chill to get rid of both with the last cards in his hand. Game 2, he managed to eke out just because his board, I couldn't really remove it. I think he was playing Shift Robin Hood, so I just couldn't get rid of it the whole game. He had a bunch of other like 2 questers that I was slowly trying to get rid of. I did manage to discard his hand, but just the things left on the board managed to win him the game. And in game 3, I just discarded his hand again, so I don't think he was very happy with me, but I'm sorry. In round 7, we just ID'd because we were in top 16 for sure already. And we just kind of chilled and waited for top 16. My first match of top 16 was Chernodogs. I finally found it. There were a couple people playing it at this event, and I was kind of excited to play against it just because I kind of want to see. Well, when I first heard about it, I was super into it. I was really into the idea. It might have been the deck I played if I couldn't figure anything else out. But yeah, the moment I started playing, I kind of realized my deck almost hard counters Chernodogs. There's not much they can do. Like, you know, just we have a lot of things that hit for 4. Like, we can buff things with Crab. Like, we can buff the Diablo 1/2 Diablo with Crab. We can improvise our 2-cost Diablo. We can play a Fox. And a lot of their stuff is like 0/4, 1/4, very susceptible. They also have to play out a lot of their hand, so they're kind of discarding their hand for us, and I only have to hold like 1 or 2 discard cards to just make sure that that Tramp or Chernobog that's hiding ends up getting discarded. If you have Diablo on board and they play Tramp, you draw as many cards as they're drawing and you don't have to discard. If you have Prince John on the field also, you will draw back the same amount of cards a second time. And then when they do end up filling their discard and getting the Chernobog out, you just Bruno it. And once it gets Bruno'd, it can't come back because he emptied his discard when he played it. So yeah, that was like a very quick 2-0. And the funny thing is, after that game, Jack Morales, SSG Ghosty, came up to talk to me, and he was like, hey, he kind of started this whole Chernodog nonsense, and he watched the game, and he was like, oh yeah, I hate playing against your deck. And we kind of talked about everything I just said, where it was really hard to play against, and we laughed about it, and we just had a pretty long chat because we finished a little earlier than everyone else. And then we looked at the next pairing and we were against each other, and he just like, oh. And yeah, we played that game out on stream. It was super fun, even though it wasn't a very good matchup for him. He was still like super fun to play against, and we were just laughing and joking the whole time. And yeah, that was the top 8 game. That was the 2-0. And then we made it to the top 4, where we managed to split. So all in all, super crazy day. It's yeah, you know, I haven't quite recovered yet, but if you want to play the deck, you should give it a shot. I think it's fun. Maybe a lot of people don't think it's fun that have played against it, but if you don't like red blue, if you don't like blue steel, and you want to drink their tears, this is one way to do it. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I will see you later. Ciao.